Hey guys, Vance and Nubs here. So let's get continued on with the story. Sorry, sorry if I feel a little giggly. I just seem a little giggly. I just got off of work and work was kind of good today, I guess. And I was just like, man, I can't wait to get home and just like post like episode 4. Like I'm so excited, right? So yeah, so where were we, right? So yeah, now we know about our first kiss. We know about the first time we were intimate, but we're still PG-13, right? So like at this point, we're kind of a thing, but we're like unofficial, right? We haven't put a label on it or anything. So now we're just like kind of hanging out. So we didn't really do anything a lot. We just mostly, when we hung out now, it was just me and her. We would go get stuff to eat. We would just bring it back to her place, eat, talk for a bit, and then, just get intimate with each other. That was pretty much our routine. It was pretty chill, honestly. I liked it. Worked for me because I didn't have to spend a lot of money, thank God. We would just go get some fast food, whatever, and just go back, talk, and get to know each other. And, yeah, get intimate. And that's, it was just like, everything was just, again, things are just going great. It's like, what more could you ask for? Like, it's cheap on food. Let's go back to her place, talk and get to know each other, and then get intimate. Like, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do any driving. It was like so convenient, right? So even those little tiny details like add into how great the relationship is going thus far, and we're still not even actually, boyfriend and girlfriend at this point. So when we get to the intimacy part, right? I like to test the waters, essentially. It's just, I would slide my hand up from her boobs down to her pants, but then as I would, she would like kind of grab my hand and be like pull it back up to her boobs, right? And I'd just be like, okay, whatever. I would be thinking, I'd rather have my hands here. Anyway, so yeah, that was just how things were between us. I would just keep trying and trying. I think that first time I actually tried like 2 minutes, like 2 minutes later I tried again, and she just did the same thing. I was thinking like 2 minutes have passed, right? And obviously the things I've done in the 2 minutes, like obviously she's convinced and she's changed her mind. So let's go for it again, right? Yeah, I think that was probably my mindset. I was an idiot back then. I still kind of am, but not just as much. So yeah, as the days went on, I would just kind of keep doing that until she kind of, would slowly let me. But actually, you know what? Let's go back to talking, when we were talking and stuff. So I actually remember bringing up, I asked her like, hey, I was just wondering, like, I haven't seen your kids around. I was wondering, like, where are they? And she had told me, oh, they're just, they live with their dad's family. And I was just like, oh, that actually, okay, that makes sense as to why I don't see them. I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't ask her like why or get details. Like at the time I was thinking, oh, I thought they were going through some shit. And so, fuck it. It's your business. If you want to tell me, go ahead. But I got the answer, like the basic answer I wanted, right? So, staying on that subject real quick, so we got together, we started hanging out end of December, beginning of January. I actually had just broken up with my high school sweetheart, and her and I were together on and off for like 8 years or so. And I was a piece of shit to her. That's a whole different story, but I had broken up with her finally for like the final time, I believe September. So like a few months prior to meeting F. And so I told myself like, yeah, I'm just gonna like let her go, because like I said, I was a piece of shit. So I finally let go of her and like broke up with her, and I haven't talked to her since, honestly. So I went into like hanging out with F. It was more like I came in there with a clean plate. Like I was like, you know what? Whenever next girl you get with, like don't go into it with baggage or anything. Like make sure like you at least have that emotional baggage and stuff like cleared, right? So we could start fresh. So, but me, when she had told me that her kids were with her dad's family, to me, I'm very accepting and understanding. Sometimes a little too accepting and understanding. And I was just like, you know what? It's her business. Whatever she wants to tell me, she can tell me. Like I said, I was already like head over heels for her, the way everything was already happening. So I kind of let it go, and I was like, you know, I'll find out eventually, and then we'll assess the situation at that point once we find the real facts. But for now, let's just enjoy what's going on now and not overthink it, because I overthink like a motherfucker as well. So at that time, I was like, no, just don't overthink it. Just enjoy what's happening right now. Everything's going good. Everything's going well. Fuck it, roll with it, right? So yeah, she told me that her kids were with her dad's family, and I was like, cool. Like again, I was like, cool, works for me. No kids around to bother us, and I can just do very dirty, naughty things to their mother, and they're not around. So yeah, going back to our being intimate with one another. So yeah, I would slowly just try to test the waters. You know, every day that we would hang out, I would try to do something else. And I would try to be respectful, you know, I wouldn't try more than twice. Like I get it, okay, 2 times is, she said no, like, don't push it, because then I don't want to come off as like, you know, like, oh, this guy's like forcing himself upon me. Like, that was never my intention, ever. So, but then slowly she would allow me to touch her in other places and stuff. So eventually it got to the point where both of us were just completely naked, honestly. But she wouldn't let me, like, we were like still intimate with like our legs and arms and stuff wrapped around each other, but like she never let me get into a position of like actually like getting on top of her and getting in between her to, you know, fuck. So, yeah. So that's how things kind of went for a while. So I was slowly getting there, right? I was like, oh man, Vance and Nubs, we're almost there. Like, we're almost going to get our nubby wet, right? Like, so, but just kind of went with it. And then once we were done, we would just get dressed and I would go home. I think I stayed the night a few times, but you know, again, we would just fall asleep together. But I think most nights I ended up going home afterward. So finally, you know, I decided, I was like, hey, you know, we've been hanging out a lot, but we haven't actually gone on like an actual date. A real date, like I was like, let me take you out this weekend, you know, dress up nice. I'll dress up nice. I'll come pick you up and we'll go out to dinner, you know, to a nice place. I took her to like this steakhouse. It was kind of nice, you know, nice for us. So she enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, that's all that really mattered. But yeah, so while we're at dinner, okay, oh wait, no, let me go to picking her up first. So when I went to pick her up, I bought her a rose. It was just a single red rose. No, wait, sorry. It was 4 roses, that's right, it was 4 pink roses. That's right, it was 4 pink roses, I remember, because I was taught, or I was always under the impression that different colored roses means different things, right? So, like, I always thought there was 4 different colors that meant certain things. Like, white was like neutral kind of thing, yellow was like for friends, pink meant you liked them, and red signified that you loved this person, right? So, based on the color rose that I got, that's how I would decide on how to give my potential girlfriend or, you know, whoever the rose. So with her, I really, really, really liked her. I did not love her, right? And I really liked her, so I got her 4 pink roses. And I remember she told me, she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for these. I was like, yeah, no, it's no big deal. She's like, no one's ever gotten me roses before. I was just like, what? She's like, yeah, no one's ever got me roses ever before, so like, thank you so much, I love them. I was like, that's what I do, you know, like, what can I say? I'm amazing. So we ended up, she looked very beautiful as well. I looked handsome too. So we went to the steakhouse and, you know, we ordered our dinner, had a few drinks, nothing too crazy. We didn't get drunk, but we had some drinks with dinner. and we started talking again. So when I brought up her kids before, this is probably like a week prior to actually to this date, right? And I believe this date was about 2 weeks after the pool hall. So during those 2 weeks we were hanging out, and I was trying to test the waters and stuff and see what I could get away with. And then now 2 weeks later we're here at the steakhouse having dinner. So we're talking, and I actually brought it up again. I was just like, hey, so I was just wondering, like, if you don't mind me asking, I was like, if you want to keep it to yourself, I totally understand. But like, I just want to know, like, what's the story with, your kids? Why are they over with their dad's family and not with you? And this is kind of the first red flag that I just totally like dismissed. And it was a kind of a big one, and I probably should have just fucking... This is when she told me, she was like, actually, I don't have my kids. And I was like, no, I get that. Yeah, they're with your dad, their dad's family. She's like, no, I mean, like I don't have them. So I'm not gonna get into that detail, but yeah, she did not have sole custody of her kids. The government did. And me, like I said, I'm very accepting and understanding of things, and I was like, holy shit, like that's kind of like a huge deal, like what the fuck. But everything was going so well, I was just like, no, I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I was like, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I was like, we can talk about it later. Let's just enjoy dinner. Let's talk about something else. She's like, all right. Shouldn't have done that. So we just continued with the night, continued talking, and we went back to her place, right? And again, remember the level of intimacy I have worked my way up to, right? So now we're at the point where both of us are naked and getting all like intimate with each other, right? So this night, I actually get in a position where, I get in between her legs on top of her, but I didn't like try to put it in. I was still respectful. I just wanted to be in that position, like, okay, can I get in this position? Like, yeah, I'm in her, she's got me in her full guard, and so, but I didn't try to put it in, even though the opportunity was there. I was like, no, I just want to get in this position, and we'll just continue doing what we do. So, yeah, so that's kind of what happened there. 13 minutes, oh man, I'm fucking rambling. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So I'm going to stop the episode right there. What we'll talk about next time is when Vance and Nubs actually put the nubby in, right? And man, it's going to be so explicit details, right? So just like be warned, like we were intimate. Like the first time that we did it, it was just so amazing and magical. Like honestly, it's gonna take like the whole 15 minutes to describe like how intimate and how passionate like everything went the first time her and I essentially lost our virginity to each other for the first time since we started. Like it's a big deal. So I can't wait to tell you about it. And I hope you guys are looking forward to it. And because after that, like things get good, and then things get even better, because then shit right here, fan, boom, just everywhere. So it's getting all the good times out. We're still in the honeymoon phase. Things are going great. First red flag is here, and many more to come. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Love you guys to death as always, and Vance and Nubs out. Mwah. Bye guys.